This yard is a violation. I should have you removed.
My hands shake too much. I cannot even hold the mower.
Then maybe this home is no longer for you. He can barely hold his walker and you threaten him? Rules do not bend for old age. No, but kindness should come before eviction.
A home can look abandoned from the street, but that does not mean the person inside has given up. Sometimes they are still there, still trying, just no longer strong enough to keep the outside looking like the life they are fighting to hold on to. The police officer arrived while I was still kneeling beside the little marker that said Ruth's Listening Garden. Half the yard was cleared, but enough weeds remained for the property manager to point at them like proof. She told the officer Mr. Leonard had ignored several warnings and made the park look abandoned. The officer looked serious at first. Then he saw Leonard standing behind his walker, both hands trembling so hard the metal frame rattled softly against the porch boards. I explained that Leonard had Parkinson's, that his wife was inside with dementia, and that the yard was being cleaned right now. The manager said illness did not erase the rules. Leonard looked toward the window and whispered that Ruth used to know every flower by name, but now she mostly remembered sounds. He said the wind chime was the last thing that still made her smile. That made the officer quiet. From inside the house, we heard Ruth call out softly, asking if the chime was moving. Leonard closed his eyes for a second, then told her yes, even though the air had gone still again. I went back to the garden and pulled away the thick weeds by hand. Under the dirt, I found 3 small painted stones arranged in a circle. One said Leonard, one said Ruth, the third said Anna. Leonard covered his mouth with a shaking hand. Anna was their daughter. She had planted that garden before she passed away, so her mother would always have flowers beneath the wind chime. Then Ruth called out again, asking if Anna was in the garden. Nobody moved for a second. Leonard looked like the question hurt and healed him at the same time. I cleared the rest of the bed carefully, trimming around the old roots instead of tearing them out. Beneath the weeds were a few purple flowers still alive, bent low but fighting for sunlight. The officer looked at the manager and said this was not a man refusing responsibility. This was an old husband trying to care for a sick wife while his own hands betrayed him. He told Leonard there would be no citation that day. Then he helped carry bags of weeds to the curb. A neighbor brought water. Another offered to check the yard twice a month. I finished the grass, swept the porch, and moved the wind chime where Ruth could see it from her chair. When Leonard opened the window, the chime moved softly, like it had been waiting for that moment. Ruth smiled and whispered Anna's name. Leonard sat beside the window with tears on his face, one hand on his walker and the other resting near the painted stones. By sunset, the yard was not perfect, but it felt alive again. The manager folded her notice and walked away without another word.